Okay, so ready. All right, perfect. Welcome to the Radio Rejekts podcast. My name is Lou, and to my right, DJ Sab. He had a long night, so he's kind of like waking up as he goes. He's going through some coffee right now too as well. Yeah. And as we always like to do, we like to have our guests introduce themselves. So go ahead and introduce yourselves into the camera too as well, to your left, and your name, what do you want to go by, and also what you're kind of bringing to the table.
Okay. My name is Roc Pearson. I am a sneaker collector. I also write for a blog called WNBA Belly Up. And I'm here to talk about all of those things today. Okay.
So you said a sneaker collector?
Yeah.
Would you go by sneaker collector, or what's the difference between those terms? Do you kind of prefer one or the other?
I prefer collector.
Rather than sneakerhead?
Yeah.
Okay.
When that term kind of first started, older people were like, we don't like that. Because it's more of a sneakerheads were perceived as just materialistic, as more than actually liking the shoe, knowing a little bit of the history, and maybe even a little loyalty to a brand. They just wanted it.
So that's kind of the terminology with the hypebeast too as well.
Yeah.
So hypebeast is that.
Yeah.
Do you kind of don't like that either? That.
I don't think nobody's ever called me a hypebeast. I wouldn't call myself one either, because I don't care about what's hot. If I like it, I like it.
Yeah. So I mean, do you know kind of the origin of those terms then? I guess with the hypebeast, like, I mean, obviously you see hypebeast, the more known is the brand that's on Instagram and Twitter and all of them. That's hypebeast, but they didn't start that. They just kind of took that name.
Yeah.
And now they're like one of the biggest followings as far as that. So do you know like the origin of that, or maybe your personal origin of like when you first heard people use those terms, hypebeast and all that?
Hypebeast, I know it was like, I remember I was reading it in a forum, and it was just like, they just want the hype. They're beasting. Like, I know New Yorkers say that word beasting a lot. Like you want it so bad. So I don't know if it started there, but that's kind of where I heard it first.
Okay.
Kind of just put it
That's
together.
pretty cool too. I think, just thinking about companies like that, I don't even think they initially started out to be like, we're going to be a hype beast company. The audience kind of turned it into that.
Well, it's just like anything with branding, and even when we go into like the shoes wise, like the company they're not in control how that culture shifts.
Right.
Like they have no control over it. The people that are the consumers that are buying it,
yeah.
You are the reason why that's going to be either hot or not. Like they can make a shoe where they invest so much time into it and it flops, and they thought it was going to be good, and then they have a shoe where we were talking about off air about like how the flat Converse and those shoes were made for basketball.
Right.
And now you would never catch anybody dead wearing those.
You would look back like, how did they do that? How did Wilt do that?
Yeah.
It's
and
like
they scored it. Yeah.
Now,
huh?
Right? It's like the skater kids wear them,
yeah.
which it's like.
So it's something where you have no control over the projection. Right. You could assume that someone's going to like it. And if you have the right names around it, like we can get into that too as well with like Off-White and all that. If you have the right names around it, it may give it that push immediately, before it launches. But most of the time they have no real hold on how that's going to happen.
I mean, sometimes they leak pictures, and I know people go crazy. And then they're like, hey, go ahead and produce that. Let's see how it does.
So let's kind of go into, I guess I want to jump back to the beginning of your origin as far as your first shoe, maybe. I know we talked about this a little bit too, where you went to like your high school or something like that. You just picked up a pair of shoes, you wore it, and then people started like mentioning or talking about it.
I was in I think 8th grade. A pair of Air Force Ones. My mom was like, you need some new shoes. Let's go get some new shoes. I went to Foot Locker. They were black and blue.
Okay.
Mids. So I was like, I want these. She's like, okay. So I got them. I went to school, and it was like, where'd you get those? I was like, Foot Locker? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I guess I started really paying attention to shoes and looking at Jordans, because my mother wasn't going to buy me Jordans. But I definitely kept that pair of Air Force Ones really nice and clean.
Yeah.
They had like a white midsole, so I made sure I would every night brush them, make them look nice. I had like 3 shirts to go with it, and every week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That was my uniform.
Was that the times where, like, I don't know if it's like the same thing with me, where like my parents would be like, I'm gonna buy you one pair of shoes. This is your go and get dirty shoes, and this is your school shoes. Did you have that too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had my like get dirty shoes were a pair of Adidas. Like if they came back, people would probably like them because they're kind of dad shoe-ish.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I don't want these. But
what were they called?
I have no idea.
But you just remember what they look like. So if they did bring them back or something.
Sorta.
Like that.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of weird though? The dad shoe, that topic it's so bulky and
it's funny.
It's, I mean, but do you have a pair of those where you're like, I kind of have like a dad shoe type?
Yeah. There are a few that I'm like, oh, those are nice. And there are other ones I'm like, never, ever in my life.
Do you consider New Balance like dad shoes? I feel like those are like
100%.
the clean dad shoes. Like if you're a dad with swag, like the New Balance.
That's the I'm gonna cut the grass after work.
There's a couple of like New Balance models that are really nice.
I saw this old dude at the gym wearing these dope red ones, and I was like, man, those are clean.
He probably didn't even know.
No, he's like,
got these for $40.
Yeah, I got a good deal on them.
I have a pair of New Balances, just so you know.
They're clean.
I know, I like them. So I mean, kind of going into that as far as like, let's just continue on with how you started with the shoes. So that was your first initial start.
Mm-hmm.
Like you kind of got a little attention for it, unexpected.
Yeah.
And then where did it lead from there? Like what was like you researched it, but is it like where you think you started your collection through your first pair of Jordans where you said you didn't, or your mom wasn't going to buy them for you? Or was it more so like you noticed yourself started researching it? And
I probably started researching in high school, like junior year or so.
Okay.
I know I played basketball freshman year and sophomore year, and that was done.
Okay.
But then I really started to like the shoes. Like we would pick our team shoe together, and I was like, I was looking in the East Bay calendar, like this is nice. Oh my, there's so many shoes. And that's when I became infatuated.
Yeah.
Then I started selling candy, so I could buy my own shoes.
The hustle begins.
And I was like, well, if you want such and such, you have to, get your own money. So started selling candy at school, got a little after school job, Quiznos, worked at Quiznos.
Nice.
And the first pair I bought for myself, I want to say it was Jordan 2s, some lows.
Okay.
And that's when it started.
So I guess it's more so with let me pull up these Jordan 2s lows, just so we have something for reference for this.
The third picture.
This one?
Nope.
This one?
Yep.
This is the color that you had too as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Those right there. Okay, so let's just talk about Jordans then. Do you have a gripe against Jordans as far as like a cutoff? Everybody has this is the time where it stopped being good.
Probably about 17-ish.
That's a good amount of weight, like as far as like how many
but
they
even
had.
In that, I'll jump. There are pairs in there that I don't really care for.
Yeah.
Like threes. I know a lot of people like threes. I don't care for them. They're kind of fat.
Yeah.
And I just never liked them.
Okay.
So, but my favorite is the Jordan 4.
The Jordan, is that the concrete ones?
Yep. Cement.
Cement. Or cement.
Yeah. So this is the first time I was able to buy a pair of cements right here.
Oh, so you have them right there?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
This was 2012 maybe?
So those are the shoes those are the exact ones you had that you bought originally?
Yep.
Okay. So what's about those? Because those are still kind of chunky, right?
A little. I like the cement feature. I don't know what it is, but when I first saw it, I was like, that is nice.
Yeah.
So I even made like a patch once, and it featured like the cement on it.
So how often do you pick a shoe to go with an outfit? Like how much time do you spend within that kind of like, I'm going to wear these pair of shoes? Do you pick that first and then pick the outfit, or is it kind of like the outfit then the shoe?
It would depend on where I'm going. If I'm really, really going somewhere, it's definitely shoe first.
Yeah.
If it's just kind of a chilly vet, I'll throw something on and look like, I'll wear those.
Okay.
So.
And how often do you get like discussions? Do you still kind of seek that? It's like almost like somebody has a nice car and you're like, do you still get people that will talk to you and say like, oh, where'd you get those shoes? Blah, blah, blah.
Yep, I do. And I have a couple of friends from like the sneaker industry that I have known for 10 years. Some I've met, some I haven't. And if I feel like talking about shoes today, I'll just hit them up like, hey, have you seen X, Y, and Z? And then we'll go on for an hour or two and just talking about random stuff. And
So this past year, what do you think is the most like hyped?
Anything Travis Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is the one that did you want a certain one? Or you kind of were like,
no, brown on a Jordan is very, very weird to me.
Yeah.
So they look cool, but not for me.
What about the olive green ones?
The 6s were really nice.
Yeah.
I actually ended up getting a toddler size, and I was looking at them. I was like, these are nice, but I'm not going to pay that amount for my size.
Right.
Those?
Yep.
Super clean.
See, I like those. I like that color.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice color.
Those can go with
But the browns you said are...
Yeah,
but that's
ones.
Okay, so let me bring this up. With collaborations with artists, and they're doing shoes like this, they're not really changing so much of the shoes, right? I mean, who have you seen that legitimately took the brand collaboration and changed it?
I don't know, because if you change it too much, then the audience might be like...
I mean, the Off-White collabs are pretty different.
They are very different.
Yeah.
But is it really that different
from
like the original? You can clearly see the original in it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It gets tricky.
Did you, I remember us talking about that where we were trying to get those Off-Whites, and you wanted to press those?
Yes. That's the only one I wanted. I wanted the Presto. I didn't want the one. I didn't want anything.
I wanted the ones.
I want that Presto. That is nice.
It's because I think like the ones are so...
Original.
They're so iconic, I guess, more so, that it's like it's a pair of shoe that's slim too as well. You can kind of wear it with a lot of outfits. It's that nostalgic, especially being from the Midwest, it's that nostalgic, like, Chicago colorway.
Yeah.
That's the reason why. Even though it's a flat bottom and it's, it doesn't look like it's going to be that great of support, whatever it is, it still was that shoe that everyone's going to try to flip, And, but I mean, that's another thing too, is like the loss you take. Trying to get those, but that was that his first launch?
Yeah, with Nike. Yeah,
with Nike.
Yeah,
and it was widely successful. Now, do you think like with him especially? Do you think like it's kind of, is the wave still high or is it dying out?
I think it's still high. I know he just dropped some women's shoes. I don't think those sold out immediately, but I think that had more to do with the style. He could drop a pair of ones every week, and I think they'd sell.
It's also he did the thing with IKEA and all that. Like, but I mean, in your own personal opinion, as far as someone who collects these shoes, what do you think about the whole just writing on it? Like, and not really. I mean, it is very creative, but not to like this original font. It's more so just a very standard industrial
it's like
font.
Labeling everything.
Labeling is a perfect word for it. How do you feel that it's almost like a mat, like a doormat, and it has a label on it? Or
some of the stuff is kind of like, okay, that's a little silly, but other things it's like that's cool because we just haven't seen that before necessarily in a fashion kind of way. Like you might see it on a schematic, but you're like, man, I'm not paying that any mind. But he transformed it, so mostly it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some stuff is
with
just
the tag on it too as well. Like it's weird, it's bizarre to me when I first seen it because I was, for me not being in that kind of realm, I look at it and I'm like, what is it?
Right.
Like what makes this so unique? But then you start to like watch it a little bit longer and you start seeing other people wear it and you're like, okay, I can kind of see it.
Yeah, you get
like
it.
Nobody's cutting those tags off or anything like that.
No.
What was the thing that with the first set of Yeezys, didn't Kanye cut off for the Ultra Boost? He cut off like the sides to it that had the laces in it.
Now that I don't know because I'm more of a Nike girl.
With Kanye, did you like him with his collaboration with Nike in the past?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was your favorite pair of those?
All of them.
All? Is there a pair that you would like? I mean, obviously the Red Octobers are kind of like the most sought out, but is there a pair of shoes that you've seen him do like collaborations? Not even with just Nike, but I mean, he has this Louis Vuitton. He has like a lot of stuff that he's done in the past. Is there a pair of shoes that you're like, I'd want those?
I'd like the Jaspers.
Okay.
This collab with Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. Those are like, I mean, nobody really wears those either.
No.
You're not going to see those out.
Unicorns. It's like,
Even
when I'm going to sneaker shows.
Have you seen those?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he has these pair of shoes with Louis Vuitton, and I think people still like will sell them, but they're I don't see nobody with them. You'll see somebody with a pair of like, I mean, those are
Well, I mean, yeah.
You'll see a pair.
Those came before the Nike collab, right? Because I could see the influence into the Nike collab.
Yeah, I mean, those are a pair of shoes that you're gonna see a pair of Red Octobers before you probably see those.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it is. Okay, so going back into this, so kind of let's just jump off and we'll come back into the sneakers. What are you doing with WNBA right now?
So two loves: sneaker culture and women's basketball. So we went to the WNBA All-Star game this year. It was in Vegas, and we had a blast. But there wasn't a lot of coverage, which is kind of crazy to me. It's in Vegas, and they have a team. It's their first year there. I would have figured that more people would know about it. So I just started kind of reaching out to different outlets to see if they needed any people to write for them or run their social media accounts, just to kind of bring more awareness to women's ball. And talked to Belly Up Sports, and they wanted me. And
now Belly Up Sports, do they do just women's basketball, or do they do other sports as well?
They do a bunch of everything.
But that's that outlet as far as like their ultimate umbrella brand. They're kind of providing you to handle that.
Right.
So they may do like basketball or baseball, whatever it may be, but that specific league and club, whatever, they want you to handle that one.
Well, I'm not the head of it.
But you're still involved in that that department, I guess, in a sense. Okay, and so how's it been going so far?
I'm having fun.
Yeah?
I just did like a fun article with my top 10 shoes of the year so far.
Okay.
That was pretty good. That went over pretty well. Just yesterday, I covered the DePaul game. They were in the Maggie Dixon Classic. So I was there watching that game. I could interview the players and stuff. I haven't yet. But
this is what I was trying to, and I really do want to have you, I mean, aside from the sneakers, I really do want to have you talk about that. I was talking to you about that, is how women's basketball, the split of interests, in between the men's basketball and women's basketball, is just how much it's just not paid attention.
Right.
It's just night and day. It's like men's basketball is like sellouts, and I mean, as far as like the arenas, like they sold out, and they're given like the most money, they're given the most brand attention, whatever it is, the media coverage. I mean, when you go to these games, the fact that you're saying you could easily go and talk to the players, when it's an all-star event, you can actually go and like get good seats at a cheap cost. And you have where if you go to like the NBA, like the men's league, you're in the nosebleeds for the same price. Like you're not really getting that, or if that, yeah. And you're it's a huge event for All-Star Weekend. So can you touch on that as far as like your own thoughts of that? Like maybe even going to like, how do you personally believe, being that you're involved in it, how do you personally believe they can change it? I think that's a huge discussion, because it's hard for anybody looking out. I mean, I barely watch NBA. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I watch it, random. But, I mean, I do watch it. But it's harder to get someone to watch WNBA. I mean, if we're being honest. So how do you think that not only the league, but the teams and even the media outlets what they can do to try to get more attention to it, or try to make it a bigger thing?
I don't know. I know a lot of WNBA NBA games, they'll bring in some NBA players to try to create some, talk. But then it's like you focus the whole game on LeBron when you had somebody out here scoring 35 points and grabbing 20 rebounds. So it's not an even balance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, I'll say sometimes the games are boring, but you look at some of these men's games, they're boring too. Yeah. So I think people just kind of have this notion that it's a women's sport. We can go even outside of basketball. It's a women's sport. Yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah. Or I'll go on the WNBA page, and the comments are terrible. They're all like, "Go back to the kitchen," or "Make me a sandwich," and
it's very, very extremely disrespectful. And I'm not saying this as a sense of just it being women's basketball, but almost like. You talk about that too, is like there's when an NBA player is there, we've talked about that, they shine so much light on those individual players that they're kind of like the game's on. Why are you like the announcers are talking about, oh, look who's here. It's, you know, it's Charles Barkley. And, you know, like, it's like, but
next to him there's a whole WNBA legend.
Yeah.
But you won't say.
You won't say anything about
right.
that.
I remember one game, Cappie Poindexter was at the game. Now, she's pretty big. And she's from Chicago.
Nothing.
Nobody even knew. Like, all the WNBA players started tweeting, like, you know, Cappie's at the game, too. And then finally, I think they gave her a little swipe.
Shine.
Yeah.
I just don't like I said, I don't understand it. And you talked about this, too. You said that college basketball is even bigger than the WNBA.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I went to the NCAA Final Four.
Yeah.
Packed. Then we went to the WNBA All-Star game. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where the drop-off happens, why it happens. It's the same girls playing, just at a higher caliber now. So
now, with these players, when they, you know how there's a big thing with the draft and the regular, you know, as far as like the quote-unquote, there goes, I would say, the regular drafts. Is it the same thing for both the same dates and times and everything like that for WNBA and NBA?
No, WNBA is earlier in the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then as far as that, I mean, when the women go from college to the league, WNBA league, is it like, do they still make a decent salary in order to kind of support their lifestyles, or
no? Women's WNBA players do not make a lot of money. The new commissioner, she has been talking about it, try to fight for them a little bit, but it's pretty bad.
I mean, but what it is like the Chicago teams.
Chicago Sky.
Oh, I mean, but like as far as like Chicago Sky and Chicago Bulls. Like the Chicago teams, like both of them, are they owned within the same company or they're separate companies?
Actually, I don't know.
Because I mean, with the commissioner, is she essentially, is she trying to like force them to pay them more? Is that kind of like forcing their hand if they need to do something in order to bring more people into the
right?
So I mean,
provide that money.
Yeah, I mean they can try to pay these players more, but if they're not generating the revenue to pay them, they may not be able to pay them, right?
So what I was reading is that they're not necessarily asking for just more money, just give us more money. It's more of a percentage, because I know some of the NBA players get a percentage of, I guess, revenue or whatever it is. They're actually asking for a larger percentage of revenue.
Okay.
So I guess that has two ways. Like, we want more of your revenue, but as a business, you have to do more to bring people here. I'm the talent. I'm doing what I have to do every night, but guys got to bring us a bigger audience every night.
What is the major differences between both leagues? There's not as many games, right?
No. Women's about 2-3 months.
Oh, wow.
Right.
It's really short.
Yeah. I think I don't even know if it's probably not even 40 games.
Wow. Men's is like 80.
I thought they were in the hundreds, no?
Men's?
Yeah.
I mean the general the regular season.
Yeah.
Is it 100?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's close.
Oh, I'm going off of like who's the team that the Warriors won,
Warriors.
Like 80, 83 or 80?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I'm going off of that.
So
obviously
I'm thinking
they lost
the two teams that were just in the championship, I think they were like 20-2 or somewhere in there. It's not a whole lot of games.
Not a lot of games.
No.
Do you feel like that's okay then? Like you don't want to drag it on too much longer? Because obviously if they make more games...
Well, it's hard to say because a lot of these players, when this season is over, they go straight overseas because that's where they make their money. And they're playing basketball year round.
In like Europe and...
Yep.
And they make a dramatic difference in money from...
Yes.
Is the women's basketball culture bigger in these European countries?
Yes, they're supported a lot.
I feel like
more.
Europe and overseas countries support sports or supports everything
much more than here.
Yeah. It's so wild. Like they don't even care about football, like American football.
No.
It's soccer.
Yep.
And as far as like a lot of them too, like a lot of even just NBA players go overseas and they make a ton of money. When they retire, they go overseas.
Yeah. But see, I feel like they go because they want to. They would just want more money and they want to, stay in shape.
Yeah.
Whereas WNBA players, if they want to live like people think they live, they have to.
Yeah.
So
that's the big difference is that NBA players, the men's league, will go over there almost for like fun and leisure. Like it's just like, okay, I'm just going to join this league really quick for this reason. Okay, let's kind of jump right back into the sneakers, because I have all these sneakers around you, or you have these sneakers around you. And every once in a while I'm looking at you and we're having like this deep conversation, but I veer off to the left and the right. So let's go off of your right and kind of jump into each one and see the significance around it. You have a pair of Jordans right to your right.
Jordan 11 cool grays. Still waiting on a retro for these.
Wait, so they have no retros for that?
It's been 2010 was the last time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there just not a big demand for them?
I wouldn't say that. I don't know what they're waiting on, honestly, because they brought the breads back again this year.
Yeah.
I remember being in high school and those being a big deal.
Yeah.
They came out.
So I actually bugged my cousin because they had a midnight drop. I was like, please take me to the store at midnight. He's like, I'm not taking you to the store at midnight. So I gave him like $5. We rode his scooter, and and I got him. And,
for those, okay.
Yeah.
So those are like almost 10 years old.
Almost 10 years old, yep.
As far as like, I talked to you off air about my uncle that has like all those pairs of Jordans.
Oh, yeah.
My uncle Sab, he has a case. He's a huge Jordan fan.
Yeah.
Right? He has like the plates, like in this, like a jacket that's like a championship jacket. And like every time I'm like, man, if you ever like, you're on your way out, if you're on your way out, please just put me in the will for all this stuff.
Memorabilia,
please.
Yeah.
But he has, I was telling her that he has all these shoes and he has the receipts in them, like they have to be like 2003, 2002, but I mean, never wore them.
He's the one that would like buy two pairs, one to wear. And
he just bought one pair and just never wore them. He just never chose to wear them. He just knew. Obviously, you're talking about Michael Jordan.
Right.
Like,
he knew.
Jordan.
Right.
He knew it's gonna be something.
Isn't that so? Everyone knew that. This is something I kind of want to talk about too. Like when Michael Jordan was going through the era, even my family was huge on that too. I have so much Michael Jordan memorabilia.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's same effect in this generation with like LeBron and with like Steph, with all these other big names who are just as athletic and have the stats close to Jordan. Like it's not as a big collection thing as it was when Jordan was going through it, I think.
Well, Jordan like essentially made the shoe.
Right.
So I mean, a lot of players now have shoes and they have brands with shoes, but he was the first one to really have his own, like they built a brand around him.
Right.
I mean, they literally made the Jordan brand where it's a division of Nike.
Right.
I think that has a big thing to do with it. Obviously, he was a great player, but it took him a while to get those rings. Yeah. So, I mean, when that was starting to happen, and we're from the Midwest, we're from the same
Maybe
place.
If we're from like Ohio, and when LeBron was killing it for them, it'd be a bit different thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because you're not originally.
It's just something I thought about recently. I was like, why isn't there like a big, like memorabilia phase for these other athletes? Maybe there is, we just don't see it because we're just from Chicago.
Well, I even talked to you about buying, even though I would never wear them, I talked to you about buying LeBrons.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, I mean, if they just release, this is the first time they ever release, and I just store them away, then if they ever retro them, I got a first pair, like the first editions. So, I mean, he's still like plain.
Yeah.
I guess. But even when Jordan dropped them and he was playing, they were still like selling out.
And if you snapshot it, when Jordan was playing, let's say he had 20 shoes in his whole career. Mm-hmm. LeBron could have 20 shoes this year.
Right.
So it's a little different.
It's a bunch of colorways and everything.
Right.
Okay, as far as that too, so let's keep going down on these shoes.
Then we got some Jason Kidd's. He was one of my favorite NBA players.
I've never heard anybody talk about Jason Kidd's shoes.
Oh, man, he's one of the best.
I mean,
those are dope,
you would know, but I mean,
is that like carbon fiber on the side?
Yep.
Nice.
Wow, Sab, good job. I would have never known. He's like, I know my material. I mean, we had this talk where it's like there's certain shoes that those are always the same ones that get brought up. Mm-hmm. If they're players that are playing right now, like the Kyries or whatever, like the Kevin Durant's, like they're always going to be brought up because they're playing right now. Right. But as far as like the Pippins,
yeah,
those are kind of ones where sometimes people don't even know they're Pippins.
Right, they just know the Nike with the big old ear on the side.
I just found out those are Pippins.
Yeah, literally. I knew they were Pippins because I've had people that buy them and you just hear them so many times where I had to look and be like, the Nikes with the air, and I looked. And those are the shoes that get brought
This
up.
guy's got those on right there. She's
Oh
wearing
yeah,
those.
the Nina Sky in the picture. She has a pair of Pippins.
There you go.
Yeah.
Literally, see, there you go. And then you hear the Jordans and all that kind of stuff. But Jason Kidd's shoes, I would have never I didn't even know Jason Kidd had a pair of shoes.
Oh yeah. So I went on this thing where I kind of wanted to make my own '90s pack with shoes.
Yeah.
So I have the Jason Kidds. I got a pair of Matumbos, the Shacknosis,
Okay.
and outside of Jordan.
Matumbos are kind of big, right?
Yeah, they're huge. I don't really wear them, but they look good.
I mean, but people are people know of the Matumbos.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can pull those up too as well. And then what about these right here?
Oh, these are a brand. He's from Chicago. His name is Alonzo.
Okay.
And it's geek fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I like
I
those.
met him at Complex Con this year, and he dropped these there, and they were dope. Kind of dad shoe-ish,
Yeah.
but the colors were crazy, so we got them.
It's like if Google had their shoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like
And
I
they're
feel like
pretty
one of
nice.
his designs were right after Google.
Based
like,
off of that?
Yeah.
So do you like those kind of flared out soles too?
Yeah, I do.
You see that? Like there's the shoes that have like a very symmetric. They're very slim
like
down.
the one.
Mhm.
Like the one.
Yeah.
And then you have these where they're kind of
like
almost like bubbles.
like a
Like
car,
a bubble,
like
a car. Yep.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So he was cool. He took a picture with us. He signed our box for us and everything.
So those were released last year?
This year. I don't know if the Complex Con was the first drop, but
I'm curious about the shoes you got on right now.
my
Those
shoes
are
I
really
have on right now.
Yeah.
I'll take one off.
yeah. Well, can you talk about those? Because
Sure.
I've been looking at those. Those are really
So
cool.
Nike ID. Well, it's Nike by You now.
Okay.
They did a collab with Karabo Poppy. She is from South Africa,
Okay.
and she's an illustrator
Mm-hmm.
and a designer.
Okay.
So she put them up there. She had like 3 base designs, and then you can kind of just go in there and add your own little flair to it. So this is what I created.
I like that.
Now, what is the base design of that? Because
Base
obviously
design
that.
is the her artwork right here
Okay.
for this pair.
So you made it yellow.
I picked the yellow. I picked the green here, or moss, whatever you want to call it. I picked the red
for
here.
the. Yeah.
I picked her logo for the back because you
Okay.
could have had just like the air sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you pick the black wraparound?
I did pick the black
I like
wraparound
that.
and the laces, I believe. So
What's the bottom is pretty. Could you for those or Nike U? Can you change the bottom?
yeah,
Like the absolute, like the bottom, not like just the sole color entirely, but like as far as like, obviously those are Air Force Ones, but can you change like individual colors on the bottom?
for these, no.
Okay.
I think there were other ones where you might have been able to,
Mm.
Okay.
because Cactus Plant Flea
Mhm.
Market, that's what they're called. They did where you could make your own pair of Pippins, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on one side you can have it say air, you kind of picture colors,
Mm-hmm.
and the other side it said flea. You could pick flea, sunshine, or I can't remember the other option.
Okay.
Mm.
But those sold out fast. I was in line like buy.
I'm pretty fascinated
Yeah.
with that because now it's like you can have a collaboration with a shoe person, but then the consumer can now make their own
Yeah.
unique one, which
Yeah.
is like a double collab in its own way.
Yeah.
It's a one of one.
That's
a little
true.
bit.
I mean, because that shoe right there, it's the same thing of us talking about. It's the Air Force,
Right.
Yeah.
but I mean, you're essentially being the collaborator with the collaborator
Right,
and making
right.
your own thing.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay, so let's keep on. You got the
Super
Pippins.
clean.
Yeah. And then let's go into her box.
Is the unboxing, because I watch a lot of tech shows, is the unboxing experience just as good? For some, right?
Like when
For
you
some.
open it and you
For some.
pull
Like-
the paper
I'm just ready
open.
to see it. Like, get it
Yeah.
out
The
of there.
Kyrie has like the cereal and all that kind of stuff. Like those are a little over the top, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still cool, right? Like people were eating like the cereal inside the shoe,
Yeah,
and it's a
that's
little too
bit
much.
for me, but,
Did
yeah.
you see those videos?
No, I didn't.
People like legit would eat. They would do that. Some people would do that like in Yeezys, and I was like, that's disrespectful, man. Like I just took this L. Can you just please like?
Yeah.
But they would eat the cereal from like he had like a whole brand, whatever, like that with cereal,
Right.
like Tricks or whatever
Right,
I think
right,
it was.
right.
Okay, so go into those.
All right, so now this is like I said before, it was called Nike ID, but
Okay.
now they've changed it, and now it's Nike by You.
Okay.
Right. So if you look in the front, it'll say Nike by, and it has my name,
Okay.
and I
okay.
think that's super cool. You got a snapshot of the shoe, And then when you open it,
That is great marketing by,
It really
by
is.
Nike, by the way. That makes it so much
we're
cooler.
all a little narcissistic.
And see,
so
I
we're
like
saying
that.
our
I
name.
like that you're not flipping it. You're pulling out the box.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's normal, but I mean, like, you know, like some of these boxes you flip
Flip
open.
it open. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the paper, I think the paper is cool. Like you could color on it if you wanted to. So I don't know. The packaging, I'm a sucker for packaging.
Can I see? Can I see
Sure,
a little
yeah.
more? Let me see. Do it this way so people can actually see too as well.
Does it say your name on that paper as well?
It doesn't.
Oh,
It
okay.
doesn't.
Nike, you got to work on that.
Yeah, Nike.
Everything.
That's pretty cool.
That is
though.
really cool. That'd be cool to
mean-
like color that in and hang that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll let you kind of put that away right now. And then what else do we have?
Okay. So I was online one day and I saw these and I bought them and I don't know why, but I thought they were kind of cool. It's a Whataburger shoe.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Have you had Whataburger before?
I have had Whataburger before.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
So they're so basic. They look dad.
But you're like, I like the inside.
I just
They're
thought
almost
they were
like
cool.
bowling shoes
They
a little
feel
bit.
collector-ish.
Yeah.
You know, I'll probably never wear them, but
But
they're in the closet.
there's just that one off that they're like a collector type
Yeah.
shoe.
But when I got them, I was like, why did I buy these? But who knows? Maybe in 10 years they'll be worth a little something.
Were they a shoe that was sold out, like they were sold out, or it was kind of like,
Some sizes were sold out, but generally not really.
Do you see a lot of people? Have you ever worn them?
No,
Do you see people wear them?
I haven't. I even like try to go through Instagram, see. I might see one or two pictures, but not really.
So they're like collectors.
Yeah, I guess.
That's nice. For some reason, it may pop off and somebody would be like. Now, do you buy shoes in just your size, or do you buy shoes sometimes in other shoes? Because you resell sometimes too, right?
Sometimes. Not real big in it, but if I can get a shoe, sometimes I might resell it. You know,
Okay.
pay for another pair that I really want.
Okay.
So I'll say this: my shoe size is a men's 8.5
Okay.
to a 10.
Okay.
If I want the shoe and it's in that range, I'm gonna get it.
Now, when you say a 10, do you just double sock to
Yeah.
make the shoe fit snug more so you fit in there? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll double sock it.
Okay.
Or lately, I'll hold it because sometimes people will want to trade, and I can trade into my size.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
But in the event I can't,
You're still
socks
gonna
to
have
go.
it.
So, how's your negotiation skills? Do you think? Like, are you?
Sam really wants those shoes. He's like, how do I get those?
No, but I mean, when you're talking with people, do you feel you're a pretty confident negotiator now? Like, you know,
Absolutely.
when to like draw the line in something or to stand your ground on something.
Yeah. Like I just got the 11s, the bread 11s on the shock drop,
Okay.
and I put them up because I really don't even care for 11s. I have those.
Mm-hmm.
I like the color so much. Somebody was like, I'll give you $195. Retail is $220. Why would I go backwards?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, but I need them. Delete. So you know, I know I didn't. The guy saw him, so I didn't charge him a crazy price.
Right.
But I made it worth it. So yeah, I'm pretty confident. In
You're
my
pretty good at it.
negotiation.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you've also been. It's not your first time selling, so you've also been involved in this type of landscape to know, like, okay, this is how much a market upcharge is going to usually be. This is how much you can kind of get away with.
Right.
If I want to sell them faster than someone else, I'm going to drop it down a little bit, this much or whatever it is.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
So, what pair of shoes is almost like priceless to you, to where if I offered you like $2,000 for them, you'd be like, that's not even worth it for these because it has that much sentimental value to me. Do you have a pair of shoes like that?
That's tough too. If somebody
It
offers
is
you that
tough.
much money,
Mhm.
you'd be like,
It is tough.
bye-bye memories.
I don't know if I have one because I like once I like a model maybe more than a colorway
Right.
because I love 4s. So you want to buy my 4s? I might say yes because I still have another 10 at home.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I don't know.
they're not bad.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an instance where someone saw your shoes and was like, "I'll buy those off your feet right now"?
Yes.
Did you go through with it?
I
How'd
did
how'd
not.
Okay.
I was like, usually I'm like, okay, what you offering? And they'll
Uh-huh.
go $100. All right, no.
I'm gonna keep walking.
Yeah, yeah. But I have had that before.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these in the gold box because this was fun. So I was in New York and they did an
No, it's all good.
event,
Okay.
and it was set up like a bank. Kind of need a passcode to go in, and then they had all the shoes like laid out one by one,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just super dope. So
Right now, you look like a
kid in
my
the candy store.
reflection.
Yeah.
Is it
Like
gold?
Pulp Fiction.
Like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I was about to say you have that glow on you right now.
Yeah.
It's the gold.
So on the box, I don't know, we'll probably get some zoom ins. There's a Jordan logo and a Nike logo, and it was like sealed.
Mm-hmm.
It was on like the actual event was on Wall Street, right, to go with the whole bank theme.
Okay.
Dope.
So they bring it out to you in this nice gold box. You're like, oh man. So you open it. You got your shoes in there. I went for the 97s, one of my favorites, silver bullets. One of the shoes my mother said I couldn't get because Air Max have always been expensive. I feel like even back in the day, these were probably like $150.
Mm-hmm.
So got these and came with some freebies, which I love. It's like an art piece.
Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
And then
Okay.
there's a little pin in there that's the same as that.
Wow.
Yeah.
The marketing is so crazy for shoes. I
Yeah.
just don't understand it.
We need
Like-
to get in the shoe game because this is just really cool to me.
No, but it's so expensive. Tell them how expensive getting into the shoe game
yeah,
can
it
get,
it can
and
be
how
really
addicting can it
expensive,
get.
especially
Like,
if you really want something.
I don't get into it because even when we were trying to get the, I was trying to get the off-white ones, and she was trying to get the Prestos. Just that loss alone, taking that L on Sneaker app, which is a horrible app.
Yeah.
There's so many bots on that app. It's trash. I hate it. So when they say like those memes where it's like, oh, did you guys take an L? You feel that. Because then you get so excited to get these shoes, and you wait in the line, the app crashes, and you're like, it's the Wi-Fi, blah, blah, blah. And then they say, sorry, you didn't get it. And it sucks.
No,
and then you either have to buy it for
I'm
extra.
talking more so like on the creative design part of the sneaker game, just to be a
Oh,
part
yeah,
of like
true.
the packaging of it or the overall design. I mean, it just seems like such a cool
There's something,
industry
yeah.
workflow to be in.
Yeah. Well, what's the one pair of shoes that a lot of people liked? I kind of liked it because it was like as you beat them up, there's something underneath.
Mhm.
The Witherspoons.
Oh yeah, those are really cool.
Those are super nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what those are?
No, that's a great idea.
As you, I'm pretty sure there's other shoes that are similar to that, but I've seen them, and I believe as you beat them up, there's something underneath them.
There's actually a pair of Air Force that dropped yesterday that will do that.
Okay, so see, it's kind of like
Yeah.
they're these right here.
Oh, okay. I've seen those before.
97.
So as you kind of beat up these shoes, like I mean, he did it in the sense of like they were skateboarders. So skateboarders would kind of like beat them up with like the grip tape or whatever it is, and like scratch them. And then as you do that, they'll the under color of it will come to life.
That's
It's
really
pretty cool. Those sold out. Those were like ridiculous. There was
Yeah.
no way of getting those. We went to that that Air Max day, right?
Yep.
And people were wearing them, and
they
it
dropped
was,
that day. Yeah.
I was, oh,
But he went on a little tour before that and was giving them out for free.
I know. Yeah,
But he didn't come to Chicago.
he didn't come to Chicago.
Yeah.
And there was like those leopard ones too. I think it was that day that we seen.
Yeah. Those were dope too.
I've seen those. Those are nice.
Yeah. Okay, so you said that you did recently for Belly Up, right?
Mhm.
Belly Up, you did a top 10 of the year.
Yeah.
You want to go through those?
Sure.
It's like a little segment I could just kind of do. It's like
Yeah,
the
you
top 10.
You want to pull it up?
Yeah. What is it?
Belly Up Sports.
Now, what's your turnaround for articles in that?
They want you to do one a week,
Okay.
but I guess we kind of have a little more leeway because WNBA is not all year.
Okay.
So we kind of fill it in. I don't want to say fill it in because I really love college basketball too. But, you know, during the off season, we'll talk about women's basketball.
Okay. So these are these, is that you?
No, it's not me. That's
Okay. I was
that's a WNBA player, actually.
Okay, because I know some of these shoes you probably have. You're like, oh, for reference, I will go ahead and. Okay, so let's go off of this. Is the top 10 sneakers of the year, in your opinion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we going from 10 down, right?
10 down.
Okay.
10 down.
So Nike React 270 is your number 10.
Number 10. They look really good.
Yeah.
But
Are those the shoes that you have?
Yeah, I have a pair of those.
Yeah, he has those.
In-
I've seen him get compliments on them too.
They're nice.
So nice.
Yeah.
They're nice. But in hand, they feel weird.
Yeah.
That's just why they're number 10 for me.
Okay, so you have a good solid critique for them too.
Yeah.
Is that true then? In hand, they feel kind of weird on you?
Ooh, I mean, maybe I've never analyzed it as deep like that. So I just wasn't.
He doesn't. He does that little like where he just
Yeah.
shimmies his foot in there. Okay, so
Let's go.
let's go. Got a blast. Number 9 is Arizona Iced Tea Collection. These actually look super clean.
Those are really nice.
So it was supposed to be a pop-up in New York, and they were going to sell them for $1.
Oh,
But word got out, and it got crazy. So they ended up doing like an online raffle. But I feel like it was only for people in the tri-state.
they should have followed through on that $1 thing. If you're gonna promo and say you're gonna do it, you should follow
I
through.
think
on
like
that.
the police might have shut it down because there's too many people or something crazy like that. But that was insane. Like, who would think Arizona would make a shoe and people be like, I want it.
I think everyone should make a shoe.
But there's two. They did a second drop, but the second drop wasn't really that cute.
Okay,
It's this one, right?
Yeah.
that's hot. It's a
Wow.
great summer
The
shoe.
Great Buy, 99 cents. That's super clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have.
Do you have a pair of those?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
How many of these 10s do you have? The top 10 do you have?
I think it's 2.
You have 2 pairs.
I think so.
So they're obviously like they're pretty
They're gems.
hard to get to.
Yeah.
Somewhat, right?
Well, I had the 270s, but I sent it back because I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you like the design that much, but you were just like that. They just feel weird.
Yeah.
I've
But,
seen that. I like the 270s, but I've seen them in other colorways too, where it's like I kind of want to buy
Another pair.
another pair
Yeah.
just because they're really nice. I like them.
Okay, and then
They make me tall too. They add like 2 inches.
That's how I felt with Air Forces.
Yeah.
Every time I wear a pair of Air Forces, something I feel confident.
Yeah.
Adidas Night Joggers.
Yeah.
I like this model, the reds.
It's just a really nice silhouette. Like when I went to Paris earlier this year, so many people had these on, and it looks nice. Like, I don't know if they were business people or what, but I feel like it transitioned into lifestyle or
It's a good casual,
like business casual
everyday shoe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the Paris trip. Remember that because
Okay.
I want to talk about the culture shock in between each one and like shoes and how you notice people changing it. Travis Scott Jordan 1s. You didn't like the brown.
I don't like the brown. I like the shoe.
Yeah.
I like how they flip the swoosh.
Yeah.
There's little intricate details in there that I like, but I just don't like the brown. Maybe they put, I don't know.
I do like them with the pink laces. I think it
With the
looks-
brown?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's her name has them on? Erica Wheeler. She got the pink in there.
Right there.
Yep.
Those are nice. And then
Do you know the value of those right now? I know it's crazy, like $1,200.
Yeah. Depending on the size. Yeah.
Okay.
Still up there.
I like these because I have a pair of Nike ones that they're like my everyday shoes.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you about that too. So it's like little side notes.
Okay.
The everyday shoe is like, it doesn't matter. It's going to go with every outfit, whatever it is. And I have a pair of Nikes that I bought like just on a whim. And they're like jogging shoes. You know, they're old, but many people probably wouldn't buy them. But they look similar to this.
Yeah.
And they're not as like dramatically like a color change and everything like that. But they're that slim, like on your foot, mobile shoe.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's not going to be heavy or bulky. It can go with any kind of pair of jeans. So what made you pick these?
The design. They look really cool in person too. Got the double swoosh. The bottom, they kind of played around with that a little bit. They're a little extended in the back.
It's a very
Got the,
90s vibe.
Oh, so you have your kind of like,
Right.
the sole is definitely a statement.
Yeah.
Piece. Waffles. Jordan 6 collaboration.
Yep. So
What is that?
that's the Travis
That's
Scott.
the
It's
Travis Scott.
like a stash pouch on the side.
Oh.
For like drugs.
I don't know.
I mean, you put your key in there. Who did this?
I don't want to say her name incorrectly. Aaliyah May.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was her.
Is this is how you spell it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, perfect. And then Reeboks and Pyre?
Pierre?
Are those, they
Pierre?
look like
Pierre
almost
Morse. Pierre
steel.
Morse.
That's a nice way to spell that,
steel-toe
too.
shoes. A little bit.
These are bizarre to me.
So he's like a luxury brand.
Okay.
I just kind of got put onto him because I saw Wale in something. I was like, what is that? And I found him. I was like, oh, cool. So, and then I snowballed into something else, and I kind of just talked about like young black kids making luxury brands like Virgil. You got Pierre. And I was just like, this is so cool. So he collabed with Reebok for these.
Okay.
I think retail was like $250. Sold out instantly.
Wow.
$250.
Yeah.
For some Reeboks.
For some Reeboks, right? Crazy.
So, kind of just a little side note on that. Do you see with these brands like Balenciaga and all of them, they're kind of making all these shoes now too?
Right. Right.
What's your thoughts on that? Because obviously with like Virgil being on Louis Vuitton now, so now you have an artist that created it, and now they brought him in to be the head of it. You can see, okay, Louis Vuitton has a little bit of leeway in saying, okay, we're not trying to be that because we brought the guy in that is doing that.
Right.
Do you see them? Do you have a little bit of gripe with that, like how they're just taking it and selling? They're selling them sometimes for like $1,500 for a pair of shoes that look exactly like this. That is $250.
Yeah, I get. If you can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
They have their market, so maybe they're like, well, maybe our normal consumer probably wouldn't buy a sneaker because it's Nike. So let's make something that they would like.
Yeah.
So I like it. It's cool. It's different. At first, I didn't like the Triple S. I probably still don't like by Balenciaga, but I mean, I see some outfits. I'm like, that looks great.
Are the laces just covered by that top piece, like that pink piece? Is it just a flap over the laces, or
I don't
how does?
know. I looked for more images, kind of see what was under there. I have no idea.
Yeah, because you can see a lace right here.
Yeah.
On there.
It's like a hood of a car on your
Right,
shoe. You know.
right.
Yo, pop the hood on these laces.
Of these joints. Okay, and then we have Nike by You.
Right.
And then this is like the pair that you.
Yeah, that's my pair.
Yeah.
Yep.
So dope.
So they collab with several people this year.
Make me want to go spend a lot of money right now.
I like these right here.
So that is it's a We Are Cultivator. If you look them up on Instagram, they pick X amount of people, and they allow these people to tell their story through a Nike shoe, and then they drop the shoe.
That's a 270, right? Or
Yep, that's a 270.
Yeah, those are clean.
This
Nice
one right
orange vibe.
So that one is Heron Preston. Like we were just talking about the luxury brands. He's another person that can go on that list, and he had options too.
and
Yeah.
Levi's.
Yep, that's another one of my pairs. They dropped some options on there.
Oh, this is yours.
Oh,
Yeah.
you made. Oh, damn.
And I was able to make them. And that box didn't have my name. I was like, oh. So when this box came and had my name, I was
What's
pretty excited.
usually the return time on those? So when you order it, is it like a 2-month thing? Because I know that the customs take a little longer.
They used to be a 2-month, like a 6 to 8 week thing.
Uh-huh.
Now they revamped it. It's about 14 days.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
That is
Yeah.
really nice.
These are the ones you were talking about where you put flea on it.
Right.
I was talking to you about that, where the cactus plant flea and the Travis Scott. Like I got those messed up because it was kind of like the Cactus Jacks. I was like, I was like, you're like,
the same thing.
no, that's not it.
They're a little different.
And then
That's the Giannis, and the Dallas Wings made that for Enrique, like their rookie.
Okay.
So just different options that the Nike by You put out there.
They look like good basketball shoes.
The Retro Force.
Retro Force,
which is
my
the shoe that you
faves.
like.
Yeah.
But you have a different. Do you like that colorway more than the one you have? The black. I like these because Kikudi wears these a lot.
I think I like the cement the most, but those have been so elusive to me, and I was finally able to get them this year. And I think they did them with the Nike Air on the back, and they did them well.
Yeah.
That's a very classic look too.
Yeah.
Those and the Cool Grade 4s dropped this year too.
Fear of God. There's not a picture of these shoes though.
Oh, because I've talked about these like 5 times in my articles. So I just showed not random, that's not nice. Some WNBA players wearing them, rocking them.
Okay.
So.
But just not necessarily what you said, not random, but they were more like in-shot photos rather than just a photo of them. So on-foot photos, rather.
Right.
Okay.
But Diamond has actually played in them, and that was crazy. She played in this yellow pair. Insane.
Fear of God ones. Let me actually look that up because I have no idea what they look like.
Is the creator Jerry Lonzo? He's from here, from Chicago.
Do you see a lot of Chicago artists that you'll kind of like buy them now? Because you're not originally from here.
No, I'm not. I guess the prices are a little high, so maybe.
Chicago artists?
Yeah.
These are it?
Yep.
Those look hard to play in. Right? Am I like... I mean, I've never played basketball, like at least good, so...
I mean, it's high top, you know.
Like ankle sport.
Can you click on one, just make it a little bigger?
Yeah.
I'm super
which is a good one. This one?
I'm pretty
maybe?
blind, you know. Okay.
I mean, they look like the Back to the Future shoe.
A little bit,
a
little
very
bit.
triangle pattern.
It's very
going
simple.
on.
It looks like it's just a piece of cloth. just wrapped around. Let's
Those
just
are
tighten it up.
super hard to get
Looks
to.
like a snow boot a little bit.
Yeah. And then these are the ones that I
Yeah.
was getting confused with the Travis Scott.
Yeah,
So the
that's my
cactus
pick
plant
for
flea
sure
market.
the year. They're crazy.
These were super clean. You've seen these, right?
No.
These you can't click on these, right? These are like the most, I think, design driven shoe of the year that I've seen.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that like how much in detail of each individual shoe it has, like as far as like the look of it. I mean, we'll go like from right here.
These are Travis's shoes?
No.
I
Oh.
got it mistaken because it was Cactus. So Cactus Jack, you
Oh,
know?
so it's not Cactus
No.
Jack? Okay.
But those are the shoes right there.
It looks like a neon sign on the shoe.
Now there were pairs that actually light up. I think those were just the friends and family pairs.
Okay.
But the
Like these? Or these look like he made them light up.
Oh, right. But I like that.
Just the overall design of it looks pretty cool.
pretty nice. The rollout was dope. The packaging is dope.
Yeah.
What's the what are those valued at right now, you think?
I would say like the 800s probably or more.
Okay. I'm more so like, what kind of pants do you match those with? You know, is
That's
it
such
is it
a
like
true question.
is it joggers? Is it do you just wear shorts with those? Like it's tough to figure out.
I mean, this guy's obviously wearing shorts.
It's like
Yeah.
all of the above. They're so dope. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
People don't care what else you have on. They're just gonna
Okay.
look at those shoes.
You could wear a sweatshirt, bro, and they'll still talk to you about
Yeah.
those. They'll still ask you.
Like a bathrobe. They're like, man, those
Yeah.
are nice.
Okay, so I asked you this, but I kind of want to get this. What is your favorite athlete brand collab that may not be active at the moment?
Let's see. It was Cheryl Swoops, but she got her retro.
Okay.
So behind that, we'll go KG in the
Okay.
Flight Plaza 3.
Do you know what those are?
No, I don't.
And then I think weren't you talking about like Penny Hardaway's?
Oh yeah, Penny Hardaway. He had a nice collection, nice run. But I feel like he's still relevant. They still drop foam posits and stuff.
It's crazy how much I thought I knew about shoes before having this conversation and realizing I know only like 1%.
These, right?
Nope, that third picture.
These?
Nope, go back up. Yeah.
Those.
Oh, I've seen those before.
You've seen those?
Yeah.
I've never seen
But
those.
click on it. Can you make it bigger?
I'm trying to see if I can find, because this is like to go on StockX. I'm trying to get, now we can see how much they are.
Yeah, see how much you have.
Flight posit. You put foam posit. Maybe that's why.
Oh, okay. You know what? Because I heard you say the Penny Hardaway has it.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, so these are it.
Yep.
These are so random. I would never even think of this as far as like KG. These are KGs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a pair?
I do not.
Yeah.
I think retail then was like $250, and yeah, there's no way.
And then the pennies. Okay. And then what was the first pair you said?
Oh, Cheryl Swoops.
Is that a weird way of spelling it? Cheryl?
CH.
CH.
No, you're right. SH. Sorry. Thinking of my mom. Hi, Mom.
These?
Both.
This is non-active.
Those are non-active. If you see the other one, like the blue,
This one?
they did retro those, the two.
That was pretty crazy. That was a couple
When did
things
she
going
play?
on.
She is the first signee of the WNBA.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So 1996.
Wow. Those are clean right there.
Super clean.
Do you know what the shoes of those are?
I want to say that's the one. Yeah, I think that's the one.
Yeah, those are clean.
It's the first woman to have a shoe brand.
That's history right there.
Yeah.
Because I definitely did not know that. Is that what you were talking about? Yeah? Okay. So that's the history of it. She's the first signee, first woman to have a pair of like her own brand basketball by Nike, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's even big too.
Yeah.
What do you think is like the brand that's killing it right now?
I'm gonna say Nike.
Really?
Mm.
Because you're a Nike
I'm a
person,
Nike
right?
person.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting to say too, because I feel like Adidas had put Nike like on ice these past like 3 years. You know what I mean? Like they just felt like they were killing it with the releases with the Yeezys and their own. I don't know. I feel like they were bringing like a very different shoe to the table that we've kind of not have seen before in the past like 4 or 3 years or
Yeah.
so. That kind of I feel put that pressure on Nike to come out with crazy designs like the ones you're wearing right now.
I agree. I think Nike was very comfortable
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna do this, and here comes.
I feel like they were riding that Jordan coattail for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we
Yeah,
got Jordan for a
absolutely.
while. We're straight. And then Adidas really came through and turned shit up on them.
Change it up.
Yeah.
I'm thankful because
Or the LeBrons. They like kind of now. How often do you think the athletes have in the creative design of it? Because obviously you see someone like a Kanye who obviously
submerged into the
yeah,
design.
obviously he's more focused on design than probably anybody that's ever collaborated with, as far as like a artist, musically, or athlete.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say is the one, maybe I guess like this, what's the one athlete that you think really has a strong focus now on their shoes? Would you say it's LeBron?
It probably is LeBron.
Mhm.
I was watching an interview, and a newer, like a rookie, was just kind of telling how it goes a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, he definitely has a lot of control over what he wants, where he wants it, because he's their biggest athlete.
Yeah.
They want him to play well and for it to look well, so it'll sell well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll say LeBron.
How do you think about Kobe's shoes?
So Kobe's are more basketball shoes than lifestyle shoes for me.
Mhm.
I have 2 pairs that I'll wear every once in a while, but they didn't translate off the court so well for me.
Mhm.
And you think that's what Jordan had too as well, right?
Yeah.
Jordan had that and that might be the reason why his shoes were so iconic, is because you can wear them off the court.
Right.
He even had the shoes that were kind of like the tuxedo looking.
Right.
Which ones are those?
The
I forgot.
11s.
The 11s, yeah. Yeah, they're like a very tuxedo, very nice.
Yeah.
You wear them with a suit or something like that.
Concords, yeah. I think even now, a little bit, it kind of, for Jordan, it's changed. Like, sometimes you'll see a player in, like, a pair of 1s playing. You're like, you're playing in those?
Yeah.
You should wear those outside, off the court.
Yeah.
So, it's a little different now.
How do you feel about Yeezys? Not how do you feel about Kanye? How do you feel about Yeezys?
Judging me super hard.
I'm not. I have 2 pairs of Yeezys.
Yeah.
The Boost, crazy comfortable.
Yeah.
Crazy comfortable.
But the Boost are like, that's Adidas,
yeah,
right? Is
yeah.
that's not so much, because like one of my favorite everyday shoe was like the Ultra Boost 3.0, I think it was, or something like that. Like it was just like a very, very minimal grayish, not silver, but a grayish silver line. And I traded those for another pair of shoes, and I dreaded it because those were like the most comfortable pair of shoes I've ever had in my life. And that technology obviously went into the Yeezys.
Right.
But I mean, as far as the overall design, he had a focus on. Would you say that's
The original design, I like it. Like the one SSAB has on. I love those.
Yeah.
The 500 isn't bad. Certain colorways are cool.
Uh-huh.
The Wave Runners, like
Yeah.
that original colorway, is really nice. Was that the 700?
I believe so. Yeah.
Those are nice.
Yeah. I definitely want to get a pair of those. Those Wave Runners look pretty crazy.
I like these.
You like that color?
Yeah, I like the color.
It's okay.
He's very these two, you know, like he's his thing with the very neutral colors
Right.
blend well with what people are trying to wear right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where he's kind of the front runner in those, is that he's able to kind of just the shoes blend. They're not over dramatic with like the
Right,
colorway,
right.
Yeah.
which he can, but I mean now he's coming out with those Croc likes slippers or whatever they are, and I'm not feeling those.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
like
don't know if he's a crazy or if he's a genius, because they're gonna sell.
they're gonna
and I
sell.
just-
They're
I
gonna
don't-
sell,
I
but
don't get it.
I don't know if I'm gonna. You will see. Actually, I can't even say that. You're gonna see people in those shoes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just don't know
Why?
why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like with the shoes? So, do you feel like you're still evolving through this? Like, what's the next step for you? Do you want to eventually maybe have your own storefront? Do you want to get into the actual designing of it rather than just being? I don't want to say you're a fan right now. You're fanatical of it. But I think getting more involved into the creation of the shoe instead of just being a supporter of them, is that something you want to transition to?
I've tried.
Okay.
Like there's I don't know if you'll call them a brand, but Alive shoes. You
Okay.
kind of can go through them and make your own shoe to sell. And I tested my ideas on some of my friends. They're like, boo.
Mhm.
So I think I'm going to leave that alone. I'll stay on this side.
But do you think maybe taking the route like you saw with Kanye, with Virgil, where they maybe interned at these bigger companies, they learned the ins and outs, they had a say-so in the designs, and maybe branching off to start your own thing? Like I think that's very possible for a lot of people to do nowadays. Is that something maybe that lineage you could see happening instead of just starting from creating from scratch without any real experience within the industry. I'm not saying that you don't have experience, but like actual big company interning experience into something that could flourish into. You use that platform to build your networks with the people that run, that do design, and now you can maybe branch off and be like a Virgil or be like a Kanye who starts Yeezus or Yeezy.
I don't think I didn't necessarily see that for myself, but if it came to me, I wouldn't say no.
Right.
I think early on, I definitely wanted a store.
Mm-hmm.
But now just selling shoes and see how that goes, I don't know if I want to do
You
that.
don't really
every day
need a
either.
storefront right now. No. I think the storefront is more so as a interaction
right.
piece.
Right. Like, but for someone like me, when I go to a different city,
Yeah.
I'm going to your sneaker store.
Oh,
to
that's true.
the whatever boutique you have, the top stores. Like when I went to Paris, I probably went to 20 sneaker stores out there.
What do you say is, as far as let's jump into Paris, but what do you think is the one Chicago store right now that you think is like the best?
That's a good question. I'll give you the next thing.
I haven't actually looked around Chicago.
No?
Nope. Because whenever I go, I feel like I go out there to an event and I come home.
Because we went to like Leaders, right?
Leaders, Juggernauts, another big one.
Juggernauts, yeah. They have like, I mean, I bought some jackets from some of those places, and they'll have like shoes here and there, but they're smaller ones, so they're gonna have that. So going into Paris, that culture shock. Is there anything that you're like, you kind of noticed? I mean, did you go for a fashion week?
No, I just went.
You just went
to go, yeah.
But is there certain areas where you're like, I know I'm gonna go there?
Oh yeah, like SNS sneakers and stuff. I was like, I have to go see that. Because I bought from them before. I just want to see it in real life.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, do you see them wearing, I mean, as far as like the people that live in that area, do you see them wearing different things, completely different than us? Or is it not too much of a difference?
They wore more Adidas. Like on the train, you see 80% Adidas.
Yeah.
Or knockoffs, right? It kind of looks like the one shoe I saw a lot of women in. It kind of looks like the Vera Wang with Alexander Wang, with like a thicker bottom. But it wasn't that. It was just like, and then we passed like a little no name store, and they were in there for like $20, and they were in there buying them up.
Yeah.
So.
Are you pretty good at spotting knockoffs?
Yes, but they're getting better.
Yeah.
I watched the video the other day, and they showed like a knockoff Travis. The Jordan 1. Could barely tell.
Wow.
Barely tell.
You see too on the with some people now, they're not necessarily making knockoffs, but they're kind of openly making stitch work. Like they'll cut up a Louis Vuitton bag and they'll make something else out of that.
Right.
Do you think that's kind of cool? Like as far as
like
a little
custom
bit.
piece?
Yeah, it's a little cool. But then you go, well, did you start with a real Louis bag or did you start with a fake one? You just kind of mixing it all
and you never
up.
know.
Right. So, I mean, if it works for you, go for it.
Right.
It works.
Or like Steve Madden, they kind of knocked off the...
Yeah, I remember those. Let's not get into Steve Madden. That was a little off.
One thing we didn't get into yet, what's in that
bottle rocket?
Yeah.
Oh, this is Wale's collab with...
Can you just show that box?
That box is amazing.
With Villa.
Okay.
I like Wale.
As
an artist and everything.
Did you listen to his latest album?
Okay, I like Wale in terms of the sneaker world.
Okay.
And fashion.
Yeah.
His music is cool too, but I like him more.
I mean, he talks about it in his music too. Like he made the Nike boots song and everything like that. That was a big thing. Yeah.
So, he did the collab with Villa, and I thought they were cool. And again, packaging was pretty cool, so I went for it. If you look at it, it's got blue on the outside.
Oh, they're Asics.
Yeah, they're Asics, and that was cool too. It's like I'd never even thought about Asics, but he decided to use Asic to.
Is that the one with the split tongue?
Yep, it's the one with the split tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah. The inserts were kind of cool, kind of like American flag-ish.
Okay.
In black and white.
I like that.
And
was this like a July 4th release?
Pins. These are old. I don't remember.
Okay.
So I thought it was cool, and
the pins are a nice touch.
So I went for it.
Now, how do you preserve all these? Because we talked about that too, where someone like my uncle that has all the shoes, you're like, yeah, he might need to put them in bags and airtight them because they're gonna just fall off
or get moldy and stuff.
No, she was even saying that sometimes you'll have a shoe that looks perfectly well preserved,
and you go to wear it,
and it just falls apart
on you.
Wow.
Because
They use glue in there, so 10 years later, that glue is not going to be tacky and stuff anymore.
Right.
So, I don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep them in my boxes. I don't want the drop front clear thing that a lot of people are doing. It is what it is. I like my shoes to be yellow. You could tell that they're aged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they're well preserved.
Mm.
Okay. Lastly, before we kind of sign off, what is your goals for 2020 as far as not with sneakers,
Okay.
but with
Or it could be.
Yeah, but I mean, more so, I want to kind of touch back on the WNBA because we kind of like slightly touched on that. But like, what is your goal for like that media outlet, and what do you kind of want to produce for this next upcoming year?
So my goal is to get to the Final Four, but as a member of the media.
Okay.
So I can get all the behind the scenes stuff, and if the WNBA has the All-Star game, to go there as part of the media too.
Now, why do you say if?
2020, the Olympics are going.
Yeah.
So that may supersede the All-Star.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Didn't even know that.
girls will be playing.
In the summer.
I get
Okay.
that.
So that's kind of what you want to do. And then
Maybe you could be at the Olympics.
Maybe.
Mm.
That
you
would be
never
cool
know.
too.
Fly them out.
Bigger and bigger.
Right.
You know? So-
I don't even know where it is next year.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know they were bidding for that thing and everything like that too as well. And then as far as like, let's go for sneakers because he did make a good point. As far as sneakers, anything you're looking forward to with the new year, as far as like whispers for sneakers or what you kind of want to do with your sneaker collection.
So I have a page now, right? It's Perception by You.
Okay.
Because I talk about sneakers all day. Like somebody could be asking me,
Go ahead.
what's the name of this shoe?
Mm.
Or have you seen these before? Is this a good price to pay? So I kind of I have a page now, and I'll put out deals and steals. Like the night jogger we saw, they're going for like $50. So I just, hey guys, these are going for $50. People are like, really?
Mm.
Okay.
And go and buy them up. So
Okay.
that's kind of how I'm changing it because I get asked a lot.
Mm.
I do have a shoe finding service. So if you see a shoe, you don't know what they're called, you don't know where to find them. If you send it to me for a small fee, I can find it for you. Tell you what it is, where to find it, and the cheapest price, a discount code, all that kind of stuff.
And that's on
Oh.
your site
I like that.
through your page.
Yep.
Your Instagram page.
Yep.
Okay. That's a perfect way to end it off. Is that camera good? Yeah. Okay. So in that camera, if you can go ahead and sign off, we're just going to have you say like obviously what your ads are. So where to find you. The belly up, obviously, we'll put that in there too as well for your articles for this one specifically too as well. But like where to find you, individual ones, because obviously you say you have a couple pages too as well. So kind of go off of there and just sign off as far as what we can expect.
Okay, so this is Roc Pearson. You could follow me on Instagram at Chronicles of Roc. That's also my Twitter handle. My Facebook is Perception by You, and that will also be my business page for Instagram.
Perfect. Sab, you want to sign off?
Yeah, this has been a Radio Rejekts podcast, and
Thanks
I'm
for watching.
Sab, that's Lou.
Thanks for watching. He's got that little. Thanks for watching. Radio Rejekts podcast. Thanks for watching. Peace. All right.